You are listening to the Fringe Radio Network. FringeRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Welcome to another episode of Earth Oddity Podcast, the greatest podcast on the earth that deals with odd news stories. My name's John. I'm here with my co-host, Tiny.
Hello.
And we have several really great stories. We've got a very Alabama-centric episode today.
I think our great state of Alabama is doing, at least this past week, we're doing all they could
out
to take the spotlight away from Florida, man.
That's right. Yeah, we're tired of Florida getting all the glory. So we showed out this week. It's just now getting summer. It's like 8 million degrees outside. It's time. This is Alabama hitting its stride, you know?
It really is.
This is where we hit our stride, which... Totally unrelated. I saw on the internet, I'm in this like foster parent group on Facebook, which is really, I mean, I've rarely ever commented in it because it's just a bunch of like moms asking mom questions. But a lady was like, you know, hey, we're moving to Alabama. What do you have to do to get relicensed and everything? And I was like, cut your AC off until you move and run a humidifier full blast inside your home just to prepare you for the weather you're going to get into down here. Because she was from like, you know, Ohio or somewhere. I'm like, you're not ready. You're no way you can be ready for this heat. But I have a few different stories. Got a guy who was impersonating an Uber driver. I got another guy who tried to steal some electricity from his neighbor.
Okay.
What about you?
We have attacked squirrels.
Okay.
We have 15-foot pythons on the loose in Alabama, in my neighborhood, by the way.
That's right. Yeah, that's just right by your house.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start with that one.
Okay.
Python eludes capture in Tuscaloosa. Now, this story comes from AL.com.
Okay. Trusted news source.
Trusted liberal news source.
Shout out to my buddy Madison, one of the writers. I got a cousin who writes for him too, by the way.
The hunt for a 15-foot yellow and white python continues in Tuscaloosa. City Councilman Kip Tyner said that the python was not located Wednesday despite extensive searches by animal control and agents from Tuscaloosa Extension Services. Now, I just want to mention to everybody that this is an older article. I chose it because it had more information in it.
Yeah.
But we're recording on Sunday. Python has still
eluded
at large. Capture.
Yeah, it's still at large.
Tyner said that the search included drainage pipes under people's homes and in flower beds. We feel the snake will resurface, Tyner wrote. The minute it's spotted, please call 911 or 311 immediately. All leads will be followed up on. Tyner said it's believed the missing snake is the same one spotted a couple of weeks ago in the Arcadia-Windsor Drive areas and could have escaped or been released again. He shared a photo of that snake on social media. There'll be a link in the show notes. You can go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I consider this a great threat to our pets and, God forbid, young children, and won't rest until Mr. Snake has been found, Tyner said.
Kip's amped up.
Because this is an Alabama site, they stuck this on the end. Pythons are non-venomous, and they kill their prey through constriction.
That's right. They squeeze you to death.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got a wild snake loose in Alberta City. And nobody can seem to find it.
Right.
You know, and...
Well, snakes are sneaky.
They are sneaky. They are sneaky. And just some backstory on Kip Tyner. He was a local TV celebrity. He was a weatherman here when we had a station in Tuscaloosa.
Yes.
Ran for city council. Probably about 10 years ago, he got arrested for cocaine possession. Him and another gentleman in an apartment in Alberta City.
Yeah.
Still retained his position on the city council, and now he is a snake wrangler. And Kip's an interesting dude. Does he still dye his hair? Have you seen a picture of it recently?
Well, I have seen a recent picture, and
like it used to be jet black at one point.
okay, it's not jet black anymore. He's moved over to the brown.
All right.
But it's not gray.
Okay,
So-
it should be gray. Yeah. So Kip's an interesting cat to be out wrangling snakes, but he's looking for it. No stone is left unturned in Alberta City, and I just pray for your family's safety over there.
Well, I trust Kip. I mean, his political platform he ran on was stay in drugs, don't do school. So,
if I hear any reports of it being in the Colonial Drive area, I will gladly come and help look for it.
I would love to find this snake because I know this would be insta famous.
Absolutely.
If I could catch it.
Absolutely.
Me and my son one day last week. The snake has a Twitter handle.
Yeah, that's
in case
right.
anyone wants to follow him.
Yes.
You can follow this snake's Twitter handle at Python Town on Twitter. And he said he was going to Summer Snow one day, which is a little snow cone stand that's like just down the road from my house.
Our realtor's husband owns it, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they do some good snow cones.
Small world. Yeah.
They do good work.
That's right.
Me and my son went out there and we set up a trap to try to catch the snake.
Right. That was a pretty famous picture.
It was unsuccessful, but it got 25 likes on Twitter.
Pretty good.
And a few retweets.
That's pretty good.
I was proud of myself.
Yeah. Summer snow is a whole world unto itself, too, at summertime.
It really is. I mean,
they have great snow cones.
They have good snow cones.
Yeah.
And for a long time, they were the only snow cone game in town.
Yeah.
Now there's T-Town snow over in the Northport area.
Yeah.
And it's not bad.
No, not bad at all. I mean, it's no snummer.
It's
snummer snow.
It's no snummer snow.
Yeah. But I was in the snow cone game for a while myself. First job I ever had.
I remember that story.
Yeah. So I know a little bit about snow cones and summer snow.
And showmanship.
That's right. And showmanship. And summer snow has the best of both worlds. And you may see a python while you're there. So
you're going to be waiting in line for a while too. So
yeah, right.
There's plenty of opportunity to spot snakes while you're there.
Yeah, you got to stand in line. That line will get all the way out to University Boulevard.
It will.
Real quick. Cars just going by like.
But they move you through pretty. They move you through pretty quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so go support them. I mean, not that his wife didn't make some really nice commission off of us, but they're good people and we like them. So, which by the way, newsflash, moved in. I'm no longer homeless. So
oh really?
That's right. Yeah, got a new house. I just want to thank all the Earth Oddity listeners who showed up and helped me move, which was none of y'all. The only person who offered was Brandon Squirrel.
Yeah,
and it ended up I didn't need him, so. Just wanted to say thank you for not carrying everyone. But my wife and I we moved in yesterday.
Well, you all have like 8 kids. I figured y'all had it covered.
Man, I tell you, my wife, for Father's Day, got me a present, and that was hiring 2 men in a truck to carry all the heavy stuff. Now, all the light stuff I still had to do myself.
That's a good present.
That was the greatest present ever. Strangely enough, though, so 2 men in a truck, you're in college town, you got college guys coming out.
Right.
The night before, Deidre was like, I got to meet 2 men in a truck over at the storage building in the morning at 8 o'clock, and they're going to start loading stuff up. Just wake me up when you get up to go to work. I need to shave my legs. And I'm like, whoa. Like, what are you shaving your legs for? So I'm going to wear shorts. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, whatever. No, anyways, I'd say it was really cheap. So I don't know what she did. We got some kind of discount. So shout out to my wife for taking care of that.
Cougar discount.
That's right. Yeah. Anyways, everybody knows Deidre's just a seductress. Let's move on here. It's summertime. Everybody's ready to take a vacation, this time of year. Usually head down to Orange Beach if you're in Alabama or Gulf Shores, somewhere like that. If you're rich, you go to 30A over around in the Panhandle. But there's a cruise. You big cruise? You ever been on a cruise?
I have never once been on a cruise.
I've never been on a cruise either.
I would like to go. They look fun.
No, they weird me out.
They weird you out.
All them people on a boat, it just bothers me.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't want to go on a cruise.
Okay.
I've been on a short one time, like from Palm Beach down to the Bahamas. But
I was about to say I cruised the Bama Bell. Does that count?
No, I don't think that counts. You got to see the beautiful scenic Black Warrior River.
Yes.
Well, you're in luck. All right, so flat earthers are offering a cruise, and that's going to sail to the Antarctica ice wall.
They're doing it.
Yeah, at the planet's edge. Yes, that's right. So organizers of an annual conference that brings together people who believe that the Earth is flat, everybody knows the Earth's flat, and it's just standard, everybody knows it, are planning a cruise to the purported edge of the planet. They're looking for the ice wall that holds back the oceans. The journey will take place in 2020, and the Flat Earth International Conference, FEIC, recently announced on its website the goal is to test so-called flat Earth's assertion that the Earth is a flattened disk surrounded at the edge by a towering wall of ice. So time out, just so everybody, all you globe heads out there who don't know, flat earthers contend that the Earth is flat naturally, and that the Antarctica you see on the globe is actually a wall of ice that rings the outside of the flat Earth.
Right.
So it's like a frisbee, basically.
And the North Pole is the very center of the frisbee.
Right. Yes. Yes. So details about the event, including the dates, are forthcoming, according to the Flat Earth FEIC, which calls the cruise the biggest, boldest adventure yet. However, it's worth noting that the nautical maps and navigation technologies such as global positioning systems work as they do because the Earth is a globe.
Well, that's what you think.
Believers in a flat Earth argue that images showing a curved horizon are fake and that photos of a round Earth from space are part of a vast conspiracy perpetuated by NASA and other space agencies also, and it's all used to hide the Earth's flatness. These and other flat Earth assertions appear on a website of the Flat Earth Society, allegedly the world's oldest official flat Earth organization dating to the early 1800s. However, the ancient Greeks demonstrated that the Earth was a sphere more than 2,000 years ago. And the gravity that keeps everything on the planet from flying off into space could only exist in a spherical world. That's all just that's propaganda right there. So it goes into a bunch of other like proofs that what the flat Earth says about the flat earthers say that proves that the Earth is flat, and that the globe heads say.
Yeah, and we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about a cruise to Antarctica.
Yeah, right.
Which we've talked about this before, and you specifically said that needed to be a reality show.
Absolutely.
Where our friend,
yes,
Mr. Anonymous,
I believe said his name enough on here. Probably this fine.
Gets on a boat and goes to Antarctica.
Right. And if you get there to Antarctica, can you not sail around Antarctica?
Well, that's my thing. Okay,
like
I would
circumnavigate.
And let me just put this out here. Okay, I am a globe idiot or whatever y'all call those people.
An idiot for the globe.
I'm one of those.
Me too.
Now, that said, I have not been into space.
Nope.
I have not seen the Earth as it exists from space. I just buy all the propaganda
You've
that
only
NASA
seen,
puts out
NASA's
for me.
digitally altered photos.
Yes. But I was trying to think, how could you prove this to someone? And I thought maybe if you could set up some kind of big marker, like you sail up to Antarctica and you put up a big marker and then you just sail to the east.
Right, yes.
And if you come back to that marker,
you're like,
does that prove that the Earth is a globe and you sailed around Antarctica? Or does that prove that you sailed around the entire Earth and came back around? You see what I'm saying?
I think the length of your trip, it seems to go around the entire edge of of a flat globe would take longer than to just go around Antarctica.
You would think.
I would think.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But I don't know.
I think there are, I don't think there's a bunch, but there's a few flat earthers in our audience. And I would like to know what the size, how do y'all think the size of the Earth is?
Right. I also want you to explain like the eclipses to me.
Right.
Like I've never heard a good explanation for that. I'm sure there is one. Because, buddy, they got a counter argument for everything that you got. Now, you may not want to dig too deep into the math on some of it. But on the surface, it all sounds really good. So
well, also,
on the flat surface,
we can look through telescopes. We can see space.
We can see other planets.
Right. And we know that they are globes.
Right.
And I've heard other people say, well, I've heard flat earthers say that when you look at these other planets, yeah, those are globes, but ours isn't.
Right.
Like we're just the different
we're special.
one. Yeah.
I mean, some would say we serve a God of order.
Right.
And who maybe wouldn't make a flat one where all the other ones are globes, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
If the Earth is flat or the Earth is a globe, to me,
I still have to wake up tomorrow and go to work.
Exactly. My life is not going to change at all. So I don't really care.
But can I just say this, okay? And I'm a Christian, speaking on behalf of Christianity, which is a very dangerous thing for me to do.
It's a way to go there, St. Paul. Okay.
But let me say that I'm a bit of a student of church history. We've had this argument before.
Right. Big time.
Way back.
Big time.
And we lost.
Yeah.
I really think that we should just own up and say, we didn't get that one.
Yeah, we missed it on this one. We excommunicated some people, killed a few people over it.
That was wrong.
That was wrong. Yes. But all the prots like us, which somebody online, I was reading a debate called Protestants prots, but I didn't know.
I didn't know that either.
I thought that was really pretty amazing.
Is that like a derogatory term? Am I supposed to get offended if someone calls me that?
I think so. Okay. But to me, I was like, that's amazing. I would like a T-shirt that said prots on it. Or name the church softball team the prots.
The prots.
The Carroll's Creek Baptist prots. But, all the prots will just blame all that on the Catholic Church.
Oh, I was about to say the prots have been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, right. No, that's just the Catholic Church. That wasn't us.
Never mind. There weren't a lot of prots back then.
Not a lot. Yeah. We were all part of that at one time. So, yeah. Anyways, so like I said, flat earthers, if you listen to the show, let us know what's up. Right. Let us know if you're booking this cruise. If I was a flat earther, I want on the front of the boat like, Leonardo and Rose on the Titanic,
It bugs me that they don't have dates announced for this. If you're going to announce a cruise, I think you need to you need to announce a little bit more information than just, all the details are forthcoming.
Sometimes we sell cruise ships out of Mobile, Alabama. So I wish I would go down there and see them off.
Yes.
Like, hey guys, y'all have fun. Let me know how it comes out.
Yeah.
And what if you get proven wrong? Are you prepared if you get on this cruise to be proven wrong?
Well, I will just say that as a globe head, I'm prepared to be proven wrong. I think it would be awesome to be proven wrong.
Yeah. Right. But I hadn't watched enough YouTube videos to be on the flat Earth, side of things. So,
well, when we're doing scholarly research, we all know that the YouTube is where it's at.
We know some guy named the Third Eagle of the Apocalypse is the authority you need to go to.
Yes,
on all matters such as flat Earth and not our National Space Agency, which is of course corrupt.
Right. So, never a straight answer.
Yeah, never. Oh, yeah. Don't even get me started on the moon landing. All right.
Which, again, NASA, they're not the only ones who've been in space.
No.
So they all have to be in on it together.
They're all together.
Right?
Yeah, well, that's that one world government.
I was about to say, it's not just NASA. No. It's got to be the Russians, the Chinese, and also private space companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin. Yeah. They all got to be on it, right?
You telling me you think a car got launched into space?
Well, I thought so.
Oh, no, you're so wrong.
But again,
we should talk to our anonymous friend about that one.
Mr. Anonymous.
Oh, when that happened, it was level 10. Yes. He was cranked up. So,
which I was not there. I was not the one who was loading the car on the rocket and standing there on the pad when it launched.
No. Yeah. But anyways, Earth's flat, and you could go on a cruise to prove it. Going on cruises are pretty expensive, I think. I don't know.
They're not cheap.
Yeah. But, you can go ahead and put your money down and go on a cruise and figure it out.
I actually think that the Earth might be square shaped.
Yes.
Because the Bible talks about the four corners of the earth, right?
Very true.
So there you go. True. The earth has to be a square.
Very true. Also says Jesus is a Lion of Judah, so I expect it to be a lion. So,
like Aslan?
That's right. Exactly.
And he sounds just like Liam Neeson.
Yes, exactly. So.
Oh, man. Well, all this talk about lions, I'm going to talk about squirrels.
Okay. Our friend Squirrel, who is the one who offered to help me move.
They may be one and the same. I'm not sure.
All right.
Alabama man kept, quote, a tack squirrel.
Okay.
And he fed it meth to ensure that it would remain aggressive.
Heck yeah. I don't see a problem with this.
Says here that Alabama investigators are currently searching for a man who allegedly kept an attack squirrel inside his apartment and fed the caged animal methamphetamine in order to maintain its aggressive behavior.
Nice.
Since Mickey Paulk's Athens apartment was searched on Monday morning, the caged squirrel has been released into the wild in Limestone County. Sheriff's
That's exactly
Office.
what you want to do.
Public Information Officer Stephen Young confirms to People magazine. Why? Why would we release him into the wild?
Maybe it's a plan that he'll like sniff out, a trailer somewhere where they're cooking meth.
He's a squirrel narc.
That's right. They put like a tracking device on him.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm on board.
All woodland creatures are going to have like habits.
That's not a bad
next
idea.
year.
It's like, in the where is it, the Sahara, where they like catch a monkey and they like feed him salt and stuff for a while and then let him go and follow him to find water. That could exactly be what this is,
Oh, I didn't know they did that.
Oh, yeah. You've never seen those
That's
things?
genius.
It's really genius. Yeah.
Anyway.
Because he knows where the water is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, according to Young, officers responded to a report on Monday at approximately 8:30 a.m. at Paulk that Paulk, 35, was allegedly keeping an attack squirrel caged inside his home and feeding it meth. At this time, it is unclear how or why Paulk allegedly kept the wild animal inside his apartment. After obtaining a search warrant, Young says that animal control and narcotics officers searched the home located in the 21,000 block of Piney Chapel Road, where they seized a number of illegal items, including the squirrel, meth, drug paraphernalia, and ammunition and body armor.
Okay.
So,
right, this guy's in for something. I mean, ammunition and body armor is not that uncommon in Alabama.
no.
But coupled with
But when you couple
drug
everything else,
paraphernalia, meth, and a squirrel.
an attack squirrel.
Yeah, that seems like a bad combination.
Officers with the Alabama Game and Fish Division of the Department of Conservation were also contacted to advise on the situation and recommend releasing the squirrel, according to Young. At the time of the search warrant, Ronnie Reynolds of Ardmore was inside the apartment, but Paulk was nowhere to be found.
Oh.
Reynolds, 37, was taken into custody and charged with possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and loitering at a known drug house. He was later released from Limestone County Jail on $4,000 bond, Young confirmed. Paulk, meanwhile, is still on the run and is facing charges of possession of a controlled substance, contained persons forbidden to possess a firearm, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
No charges for feeding the squirrel, man?
Apparently not.
Okay.
And then, of course, it says that anyone with information on Paulk's whereabouts is asked to call the Limestone County Sheriff's Office at 256-232-0111.
All right. Well, you can't feed it. Well, I don't know that you can't feed a meth, or you can't feed a squirrel meth.
Is there a law? Because
know,
a lot of times you hear about these crazy laws like donkeys can't sleep in bathtubs or whatever. And the reason we have these laws is because at some point somebody tried that.
Right. Well, I guess they'll probably pass one now, but
You can't feed squirrels meth.
yeah. But to me, man, that poor squirrel is out there in the wild, like going through detox. He's like trembling or whatever. Got the night sweats and everything. That's rough. They should have like rehabbed him, given him some whatever methadone or something to come down on for a little week, a week or two.
I bet that squirrel's going to like go mug somebody in an alleyway and then go down the street and try to get a hit.
He's like stealing Suboxone from people and all kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Poor squirrel.
Well, he's like the roughest squirrel on the block, though. Nobody messes with him or anything. He's like stealing everybody else's nuts and stuff.
He's over there just chittering to himself.
So if you're keeping track out there in the listening audience, in Alabama this week, we have a meth-addicted squirrel and a python on the loose. So, it's the great state of Alabama. Alabama the beautiful.
Do we have any other Alabama stories?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I got a couple more. This one comes to us from CBS42.com. A man dies trying to steal electricity and his skull is found in the neighbor's yard.
Yikes.
So this comes from Calhoun County, Alabama. Calhoun County's over there around Talladega and all that. Mm-hmm. A human skull was discovered in the front yard of a residence in the Cedar Springs community Friday morning. Authorities were called and began searching the area. 2/10 of a mile away, they discovered a body severely decomposed underneath a power pole. In a police report, authorities discovered a ladder next to the power pole with a belt and jumper cables at the top of the pole.
Oh, no.
It was concluded that the victim had tried to jump power lines illegally to get power to his residence. Oh. The victim was identified as Randall Stevens. Stevens had recently been released from the Calhoun County Jail on May 16th, where he was incarcerated since October 2018. When Stevens was arrested in 2018, he had been getting power illegally from jumping power lines. Authorities are warning people not to mess around with electricity, as it is not only illegal, but deadly. And that's all the article says, but Randall here apparently had quite a history of stealing power. He maybe worked a summer for the power company, figured out a few things, and was going to get him some power.
Dang.
I always thought you just ran a line from your neighbor's house or something, without them knowing, like plugging it into like their outside outlet or whatever.
And then you got this extension cord running over to your house with a power strip. And you've got
your fan running, your window unit or whatever,
right?
All kind of stuff running. Yeah, I didn't know you could get up on the pole and get it done, but
that's
I guess
dangerous.
Yeah, ask this dude about it.
This dude, well, you can't ask him about it because now he's nothing but a skull.
Yeah, well, you like come out and you find a skull. Like a dog or something probably brought that up.
Man, yeah,
had already gnawed on it.
How long had he been there?
They said he was severely decomposed. So I would
yeah,
imagine
I mean, if it's just a skull, I would consider that severely decomposed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, at this point, I'm assuming that it's just bones and nothing else, right? Like you can take that to class and make him into a little puppet. Get on to power, kids.
Hey, kids. Yeah, he apparently did not see the Louie the Lightning Bug commercials that were on when we were growing up. Yes. Told you not to mess with power lines. But, I mean.
What is it? You got to play it safe around electricity.
That's exactly right. And he's, trying to save a buck ended up costing him his life.
And it wasn't worth it.
No, and he'd already been in jail for like 3 or 4 months beforehand for stealing power again.
Did he think that, well, they're not going to catch me this time?
Maybe that's what
every time. They're not going to get me this time.
Well, it was getting to be summer. Heating up. He had to get that air running. You'll die if you don't have air down here. So
I thought that's just when you go like to the Walmart frozen food section and hang out.
That's right.
For the day.
Put a bag of frozen peas down your pants. It'll cool you off real quick.
Yeah, it beats getting blown off a power pole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Your skeleton getting found.
When they start thawing out, you just throw them back in the cooler. Let some sucker buy them.
Oh, man.
That's why we like fresh peas from the garden.
Well, John, our next story comes from... Well, it doesn't matter where it comes from.
Not Alabama?
It doesn't come from Alabama.
Okay.
But thousands petition Netflix to cancel the show Good Omens. Now, are you familiar with the show Good Omens?
You told me a little bit about it.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about it. I hadn't found it on Netflix yet.
Well, you're not going to because it's Amazon's show. So it doesn't surprise me that there are people protesting the show, but they're protesting Netflix, and Netflix has nothing to do with it.
If you're like the clerk at Netflix and all these letters start rolling in, that's pretty good.
What? That's. I mean, there's not a lot of downsides, but one of the downsides is when you are the premier, internet streaming entertainment service.
Right.
When you are the premier streaming service, you're going to get all the hate mail from all the little guys because everyone's just going to automatically assume it's yours.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Anyway, more than 20,000 Christians have signed a petition calling for the cancellation of Good Omens, the television series.
This is not a good look for Christians.
It's really not. And you know what? It's one in a long line. But here we go. We were talking about earlier about the church imprisoning Galileo.
Right.
So you can just chalk this right up there beside it.
Put that right up there with it.
Yes.
Put that in the same file folder. Yeah.
Adapted from Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman's 1990 fantasy novel. Unfortunately, addressing their petition to Netflix when the series is made by Amazon Prime. The 6-part series was released last month, starring David Tennant as the demon Crowley and Michael Sheen as the angel Azazel. They collaborate to prevent the coming of the Antichrist and an imminent apocalypse. Pratchett's last request to Gaiman before he died was that he adapt the novel they wrote together. Gaiman wrote the screenplay and worked as a showrunner on the BBC/Amazon co-production, which the Radio Times called a devilishly funny love letter to the book. But Christians, marshaled by the Return to Order campaign, an offshoot of the U.S. Foundation for a Christian Civilization, disagree. More than 20,000 supporters have signed a petition in which they say that Good Omens is, quote, another step to make Satanism appear normal, light, and acceptable, and mock God's wisdom. God, they complain, is voiced by a woman, Frances McDormand.
Oh, well, we can't.
We can't have that.
No.
The Antichrist is a normal little kid, and most importantly, this type of video makes light of the truth, error, good, and evil, and destroys the barriers of horror that society still has for the devil. They are calling on Netflix to cancel the show.
Okay.
Gaiman responded to the petition on Twitter, writing that I love that they are going to write to Netflix and try to get hashtag Good Omens canceled. Says it all, really. This is so beautiful. Promise me you won't tell them.
Yeah.
The publisher and science fiction critic Cheryl Morgan tweeted, miraculously, God has already done it. Don't tell them she put it on Amazon instead.
Oh, so she referred to God as a female.
Yes.
Oh, the heresy.
Return to Order is based on the writings of the author John Horvat II and calls upon Americans to put principles into action by working toward what is called an organic Christian society. Another of its positions in April called on Walmart to stop selling satanic products following a 2018 protest against a blasphemous ice cream chain called Sweet Jesus.
Oh, okay. I missed out on that one.
I missed that one.
I might try some Sweet Jesus ice cream.
So anyway, basically just, 20,000 Christians signed a petition to Netflix to cancel the Good Omen show, and it's not Netflix's show.
And we wonder why church attendance is declining across the board, all denominations. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, whether you like the show or not,
right?
Let's try to
You gotta
write
do
the
your
letter
homework.
to the right person.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, you saw an article or something, assumed it was Netflix, and
I'm not saying this show is good or bad. I'm just saying if you're going to sign a petition, it needs to go to the right person.
Right. Yes. And I'm very intrigued by the Sweet Jesus ice cream.
Yeah.
I heard if you eat it, like you really get a taste of it 3 days later. Like all of the goodness is fulfilled in 3 days. Is that a bad joke? Are we going to get protested?
Probably.
Yeah, but to me, that's a good joke.
I'm okay with that because they're probably going to send that petition to Where's the Line podcast.
That's right. Yes.
Which deserves a petition in their own right.
I tell you, man. Let's talk about Where's the Line podcast for a second. I've listened to 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I've yet to make it through either one. Not because, listen, and I want everybody to be clear, not because it's a bad podcast. Production, everything's great. I mean, it's just some of it is just like,
it's disturbing.
It hits my line, and I'm like, I got to stop right here,
Yes.
But the host and everything's great, and I enjoy it. But there's some points where I was like, man, I'm getting a little sick to my stomach,
Yes.
Like I can't take it. And I guess that's really the point of it.
Yeah, that's
some
the point.
people can. I know you enjoy it.
I do.
I just can't get through it, But if you're out there and you enjoy like crime with like really heinous crime with really well researched and presented well,
and it's not necessarily crime. Sometimes it's just disturbing stories.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sometimes
like they talked about the chimp attack.
Yes.
Early
right.
on.
Yeah.
So.
So you check it out because it's great, and I like it. I really do like it. Some of it's just a little too much for me. So, and I have a pretty strong stomach. So
I would recommend you check out the episode on Elmer McCurdy.
Okay.
Have you listened to that one yet?
No.
He is an Old West outlaw who died in a gunfight with the sheriff of the town. But yeah, he was put on display in like a wax museum and then some kind of other museum and finally a fun house. So,
Oh, a fun house.
Yes.
Okay.
Lots of fun.
Well, I would just like to say that it's a great show, and I don't want anybody to misunderstand me and think that it's not. Anyways, let's get back on track here with another Alabama story.
Let's do it.
If you got kids listening, this is a very short article, but has some sensitive stuff in it, so you may not want them listening. So just a heads up. This comes from KATV.com, and the headline reads, "Man accused of impersonating Uber driver arrested wearing fake penis." So, a Tuscaloosa County home.
Again, that's just down the road
Right.
from where we're sitting
Yes.
right now.
A Tuscaloosa County man accused of impersonating a ride-sharing driver has been arrested and indicted on multiple charges. Tommy Wayne Beard was arrested in March and charged with 2 counts of kidnapping and impersonating a transportation network company driver. Beard is accused of picking up intoxicated college women from Tuscaloosa bars. When he was arrested, police say they found photos on his phone of unconscious clothed women in his back seat that focused on their breast and crotch area. Court records also said when the 62-year-old Beard was arrested, he was wearing a fully erect artificial penis. Additionally,
Okay.
investigators said when they searched Beard's car, they found a loaded gun and a bottle of hair conditioner.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was thrown in there.
Nothing about this story makes sense.
Yeah, and he's being held on a $30,000 bond. Now, Tommy Wayne here, there'll be a picture of him in the show notes in case you have, relatives or friends who go to the University of Alabama or live in Tuscaloosa and just like to go out and have a few drinks and catch an Uber home. Because they may have gotten picked up by him. Yeah, he was showing up at a bar, like there'd be a girl standing on the sidewalk. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm your Uber."
Anybody order an Uber?
Yeah, who called the Uber? And they would jump in, and he would take them home. He hadn't been accused of any misconduct with the women outside of taking their photos and stuff. But
I think he was also attempted with kidnapping.
yeah, right. That was
Yeah.
that was one of the charges.
Right.
But I don't understand the fake penis.
Or the hair conditioner.
Well, he wanted to look as, some people want their hair to look good, but he wanted full body.
That just sounds like.
But the fake penis that's the puzzling thing to me.
He was wearing them. It's not like he had them on hand.
And it was a fully erect one,
Yes.
which got to be a little uncomfortable, you think? Especially if you're sitting down driving.
I mean, he was wearing some baggy cargo shorts.
Maybe so. I don't get. First of all,
Was he trying to impress somebody?
Maybe so. Maybe he wanted them to look up there and be like, "Oh, well, all right, I see what you're working with. Come on up.
Yeah.
Would you like a cup of coffee or whatever?" Maybe that was his plan.
But okay, let's say your plan works.
Yeah.
It's never going to come to fruition.
Well, let's say sooner or later it's showtime.
At some point the curtain's going to come down.
Yes.
And we're going to know what's going on.
Surprise, surprise! I have no knowledge of the workings of a fake penis. Okay, but yeah, when it gets to be showtime, how does it? Do you use it? Does it stay? How do you keep it on? You wrap some duct tape around it or something?
Well,
I don't know.
you use it, I still don't see how you're getting anything out of that.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. Yeah. You're definitely not getting maximum satisfaction. I would say. At least on your end.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
It's just bizarre. And also, I don't know if you
you're
mentioned
out there
this.
listening and you know how the fully erect fake penis works. I'm just for my own curiosity.
Email John.
Yeah, email me. Find me on Facebook or whatever. Email me. Just let me know how it works.
And then John will sanitize that information.
Right. I'll bring it back
and boil it down into into language I can understand, and then he will tell me.
Because I can't. I can't do a Google search for that. I'm a married man, so I just will never be able to. I may just die with the mystery of.
And I don't trust Google incognito mode.
Oh no, yeah. If you trust that, you're crazy. You just got to know if you're incognito, it's all coming out one day anyways.
But one thing that I don't think we mentioned, but he was arrested for this exact same thing back in March.
Right, yes.
This is his second time that he's been busted doing this.
Well, I think what happened is somebody else came forward with some more charges.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, I remember Tommy Wayne picked me up. You know, looked like he had a third leg going on. You know, I don't. You know, like how do they get the police sketch artists in there? You know,
They're like, "Ma'am, we're just doing headshots." Okay.
Well, you know, the only thing I really remember about him is Tommy Wayne was packing heat. You know, he told me to call him Muley Grande. I don't know what that's about, but I just want to know how it works. You know.
Yeah.
And also, how much do they cost? You know, where are they available? Can you get them at Fantasyland? I just have a lot of questions about it. Just would like to know what the workings of that is and why you would want to do that. I mean, you know, wear one on yourself.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. I don't either. I'll try to discuss it with my wife later and see what she thinks. She may be like all for it. Yeah, get the Big Daddy version. They got it for sale on Amazon. I don't know.
Okay, again, we've talked about this. Amazon needs an incognito mode.
I think I told you one time I was looking up some stuff on there and Deidre was like, oh no, me and Mom share an Amazon account. Did I tell you that before?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff on Amazon that I don't want to buy, but I do want to read the reviews to satisfy two things. One is curiosity, and number two is it's humorous.
Well, yeah.
But I don't want stuff popping up in my recommended list after I search for this.
Look, I just like to apologize to Deidre's mom. Okay. I mean, sometimes we get a little adventurous, so we're trying out some new things. Okay, there's nothing wrong. We're married. That's cool. Yeah.
You didn't try the old. That wasn't me. That was her. That was your mama.
It's never gotten brought up. It's never gotten brought up before. So, yeah, never gotten brought up before. But just that's what I was saying. It just happened. Okay. So
It's a good business decision that Amazon wants everybody to have their own account. They don't want families sharing accounts.
Yeah, you're right. But if you're out there, you live in Tuscaloosa or you have friends that go to school in Alabama, definitely hit up the show notes. Check out this guy's picture because, honestly, he seems like a really creepy dude. And I may have made light of it, but the dude, he needs a good swift kick in the teeth for doing this. And
be careful. I've never used Uber, so I don't know how it works. But do you get like a picture or a description of the vehicle when you order an Uber?
I don't know. I think you should.
I was about to say you should.
I mean, I don't. You haven't, but when you're like super drunk, details like that aren't really like your main concern.
If they haven't done this yet, and they probably have, I'm not familiar with Uber, but it would seem like you just go on there and like if you're going to drive for them, you have a profile page that you do, and then when someone orders an Uber, like they get to look at your profile page, you know.
Well, you know, one time I had to help park cars overnight for football. It's a big Boy Scout thing. It's how Boy Scouts make money. That's very complex. But I had to be at the end of Sorority Row, Magnolia Drive, from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. on a Friday night before a football game. And the amount of Uber drivers dropping off, I mean, just absolutely slosh sorority girls was amazing. I mean, my biggest memory of the night was a girl jumps out of the Uber with like 10 other girls, and like 3 of the girls start walking to one sorority house, the other ones are walking to another sorority house, and one of the girls looks over the other ones and says, "Hey, I'm going to party like crazy tomorrow after I pass my drug test." And, of course, as you would imagine, every one of them acted like I didn't even exist. Like, no, even like how you doing, have a nice night, anything like that. I'm just like some fat dope standing there in a reflective vest.
Dang.
So, anyways, there's big money to be made in Uber in Tuscaloosa. That's all I'd say. But yeah, you may want to check out our show notes and just make sure none of your loved ones have been involved with this guy unknowingly. So,
Well, anyway, and also guys who could do this in the future. This is something that we haven't seen a lot of, but this could potentially be a huge problem for
them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
they got to work something out, like your phone and their phone having to link up or something once you get inside or something like that. I don't know.
Well, anyway, our next story here comes from a German site, and
I tell you what, they're kicked up outside.
I was say, what are they doing?
I don't know.
Anyway, our next story comes from Deutsche Welle, which is a German site. Several injured after man urinates off a Berlin bridge. 16 rescue workers responded to the incident triggered by a man urinating off a Berlin bridge onto a tour boat. Police have filed assault charges against the unknown man. Several people were injured in the German capital on Friday evening when a man urinated off a bridge onto a tour boat, the Berlin Fire Department said. The sprinkle of urine from overhead caused a commotion on the boat as it passed under a low-clearance bridge in Berlin. Several people jumped up and were injured on their head as the boat passed under a 4-meter high bridge spanning the Spree River, the fire department said. 4 people were taken by ambulance to the hospital for lacerations to the head. Police filed assault charges against the man and described his actions as abnormal behavior. They are currently searching for his whereabouts, so he's on the lam out there. And I did not, that's all the article. I didn't think this was real at first, but I looked into it and there were several different news agencies carrying this, and the BBC carried it also, but I just went with this one because it was the original.
Sure.
But I didn't understand it at first, but there was a bridge passing under a boat, but it was very low clearance.
Right.
And when this dude started,
peeing,
whizzing off the bridge, people stood up and they hit their head on the bridge as the boat was passing under. That's a double whammy. Yeah, it is.
Wow. I have a buddy who's peed on some people before. Listens to the show, by the way. So when we were in college, we went to a concert at the Boutwell Auditorium. It was like Phil Lesh and friends. I don't remember. I think that's who it was. We get out of the car. May have sucked back a few beverages on the way down. And he had to pee. Well, we're in a parking deck, and he walks over to the edge of the parking deck and starts to pee. Well, he's peeing against the wall, but the wall is not connected to the floor.
And it's running down. Lower levels.
People are like walking out. Oh, no. And they just think it's just like water dripping.
Oh, no.
But he was peeing on people. And he's probably listening right now. I don't want to out him because he's like a successful, person in life. But yeah, he peed on people. Then later on during that night, so we're at this is, you can cut this out, but it's an amazing story to me. We're at the concert. Now, the 4 of us that were together were all Eagle Scouts, by the way.
Okay.
Just to let you know, Boy Scouts can be delinquents. We're up close to the front, like as close as you can get to the front at a dead-related show, because there's always Hell's Angels and stuff right up front. But there was a group of high schoolers beside us,
mm-hmm.
and they were partying pretty hard, no big deal. Everybody parties, it's fine. But all of a sudden, this kid, he's like maybe 15, just falls out, like right on the floor.
Dang.
And all of us were immediately like, nope, not helping that guy. Like, not getting involved. I have a lot of illegal stuff on me, not doing that. And then a little while later, he just like pops up and starts dancing and having fun again. And I was like, man, you were dead for like a minute and a half there. And like all of his friends were worried. But yeah, anyways, so my buddy peed on some people.
Dang.
They never knew it though, so they're none the wiser.
Well,
I got one more story.
All right.
Okay. So there's a video of this one. You should definitely check out the video if you want. The video shows an Albuquerque police arresting a scooter riding DWI suspect. Now, like I told you this morning, I really hope this is like a fatty cart scooter, but it's like a bird scooter or one of those that you can rent. Big cities have them, and you can rent them and ride around. Lily Romero was the first person accused of driving drunk on an electric scooter in Albuquerque. And a police lapel video shows once she was being investigated for DWI, her demeanor changed. Boy, they're just kicking it out there. I hope this is picking up on the microphone.
Well, I hear it through my headphones.
Yeah, I hear it through the headphones, so I think they are. Man, we've had a good run. You know, we had a really good run up here.
I don't suppose you can squeeze a recording space in that new house of yours.
No. We might could use Hudson's closet. Get a real job, you effing blankhead.
That's a nice thing to say.
Those are the words Romero yelled at officers from the back of a cop car, and she didn't stop there. An Albuquerque police officer stopped the 27-year-old near Lomas and 2nd Street out in Albuquerque, and according to the criminal complaint, he caught her going the wrong way down 2nd Street while driving an e-scooter. Romero told the officer she was coming from Marble Brewery, where she had 2 beers, standard drunk amount too. You get pulled over. I only had 2, officer. You had like 22. Said she was with a group of friends who left her behind and that they were headed to another bar on Central Avenue. The officer wrote in his complaint that he could smell the booze and tried to explain to Romero the reason he pulled her over. In certain situations pertaining to, let's say, DWI, this doesn't constitute as a vehicle, a motor vehicle under the state statute, the officer said. But nevertheless, it seemed Romero had a tough time understanding why she was being investigated, and she couldn't follow the directions during the field sobriety test. So once she learned she was being arrested, she became angry, and so did her friends. Wow. You were such a D-bag, one of the women told the officers. Even after she was in handcuffs, Romero continued to mock the officer's decision to arrest her. Okay, I went down the wrong way. Take me to jail, she said. And that's when the officer assured her that that's exactly where she was going. So she blew a .20.
Wow.
And this is her first DWI charge in New Mexico.
Huh.
Mighty rough to get arrested on a scooter.
It is.
I mean, it's a good story to tell like 20 years later.
Yeah.
But for the immediate short term, when you got to call mom and dad and say, hey, I got picked up, and they're like, we're driving under the influence. They're like, what? Did you hurt your car? No, I was on a scooter.
Do you ever get in trouble and you think to yourself, well, this is going to be funny?
Yeah.
20 years from now.
Oh, yeah. I've done that many times.
Hoping it'll make you feel better, but
Right.
it never does.
No.
You still feel as
Yes.
rotten as you
Yes.
did before you thought that.
Yeah, but there's been plenty of times while I was in trouble that I thought, like, later on, this is going to be a really good story.
Yes.
So,
I'm going to tell this on a podcast one day.
yeah, one day, years from now. Like the time my mom found a pint of whiskey in my closet.
Uh-oh.
I'll save that story for later.
Okay.
That I was just like, yeah, this will be good one day, but right now it is horrible, And it was. I don't know that I've ever seen my mom so mad. So,
Dang.
yeah.
Well, anyway, here's... That's awesome, by the way.
It's just a baseball. like what is going on out there? It's like Primus having band practice or something.
I mean, it don't sound like a praise band out there.
No.
It sounds like they're warming up to play a bar later.
Yeah, right. Goodness gracious.
Anyway.
Oh, we had such a good run. I mean, it was a perfect spot.
They were practicing on what, Wednesday nights or something?
Like
It was
that.
some other night of the week.
We got to
but-
stop this.
Man.
I'm going to hide all our instruments next week. We'll just bring them up here with us.
Dude, you're just showing off now.
Yeah.
You've been playing a praise
I
song.
bet you it's Errol.
Oh, man,
You know?
it is Errol.
All right, so we're here to talk about Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice. I'm doing this ad all by memory. CajunCurl.com. Check them out. On the CajunCurl.com, you can find their world famous blended Bayou Blended Spice and their Cajun Curl chip cutter as well, right there on CajunCurl.com. It was created on the Evangeline Parish, on the Elm Bayou in the Evangeline Parish.
Yes.
And it's a spice that goes on anything. If you like cooking or eating, this is a spice for you. You enjoy chicken, beef, pork, meth-addicted squirrels, pythons you might catch roaming around Alberta City and Arcadia Drive. Put a little Cajun Curl spice on it, cook it up, it's going to taste great. Their Cajun Curl chip cutter, potato chip cutter, is really one of the most awesome inventions of modern man. It is great. It allows you to make your own potato chips, and it's easy to clean, it's easy to use, And if you're having, say, a cocaine party with your friend and maybe possibly other council members in Alberta City, whip up some chips for everybody while you're doing it, okay? They call that the Tyner Special. Cajun Curl is all natural. It's made in the USA. It's got low salt or low sodium, and so it's good for you. It's also available online. This is not going as well as I thought it would.
No, it's going well.
I just thought for people who actually listen to the ad, it would be fun. It's also available online at CajunCurl.com. They have recipes there. You can find your nearest grocer, or you can order it there. Locally in Tuscaloosa, it's available at Vowels on Skyland Boulevard, Mark's Mart in Northport, Piggly Wiggly in Northport, and South's Finest Meats, which is over on Greensboro and 31st or 35th. Check them out. World famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice at CajunCurl.com. Use our promo code, which is EOP10. That's EOP and the number 10 to get a 10% discount when you order it online.
Because we ask that you use the spice, but we don't ask that you pay full price.
Amen.
Taste the spice, not the heat.
All right, so I'm going to read it again next week. That did not go as well as I thought it would.
No, it went well. Everybody give him a hand. That's impressive. Especially with all this, especially with the band coming up.
Right.
Yeah, okay, it took some money, but we made some sacrifices and we hired a band to play in the background as we record our podcast.
Tune up their instruments while we try to do our podcast.
Yes. Do you want to talk about listener feedback first, or do you want to read some iTunes reviews first?
Whichever. It's fine. Let's go iTunes reviews.
Let's do iTunes reviews and get those out of the way.
I want to see if Thomas has made it yet.
Okay. We have 2 new reviews on iTunes. This review comes from... Wow.
Goodness, can we just cut it down a little bit?
This review comes from BC78$. 5 stars. Great podcast.
Okay.
Thank you, BC78$, so much. That means a lot.
I appreciate it.
And this one comes from John's Offspring. The title of the review is Yes, and it's rated 5 stars. They actual doo-doo stank. Thank you, John's Offspring, for that. I think that's a compliment.
That's Thomas. He's a straight A student, by the way.
Well, he's saying we're the real poop.
We're actually doo-doo stank. Yes. I think that's a compliment.
I don't understand kids today, but I appreciate it.
Yes. I forced him to do that, by the way. That's why he did that. But he got a new phone, so I made him do it.
And again, we only ask their 5 stars. You can say what you want.
Exactly.
You can call us doo-doo stank.
You can call us doo-doo stank. Maybe we need to get some T-shirts that say doo-doo stank on it.
Earth Oddity Podcast, they actual doo-doo stank.
That's right. That could be our tagline.
Well, anyway.
Get Dad to recut an intro with that in there.
And then we also got an awesome email from a listener this week. This comes from Scott, and he says, "Hey guys, love the show. There aren't many podcasts that I actually jump up and download as soon as I get the notification. Actually, there is only one." I'm assuming that's us.
Yeah, right.
So that's awesome. Regarding y'all's appeal for guidance on the best fast food fries, I gotta say, I agree with most of your experience. Wendy's and Arby's are trash.
Amen.
McD's are okay.
I would have a little higher than okay.
They're okay. But in my travels, the establishment that consistently delivers the best has got to be White Castle. We didn't mention White Castle. No. I'm familiar with White Castle.
I know
they are good.
I saw a movie where Harold and Kumar went there. Yes. I've never been to a White Castle. I thought they were like Yankee Crystals.
Well, he says they kind of are. Okay. He says here in this email, yes, they are fairly Yankee-fied.
Okay.
I have to drive an hour and a half from Chattanooga up to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to get my fix. But once you've tried it, you'll rightly hold all other pretenders in contempt.
Okay.
Now, I'm not familiar with their fries, but I can say White Castle burgers are delicious.
Okay.
They're kind of greasy. They're kind of gross. They don't smell great, but they're delicious. Okay. And you can't get enough of them.
That's how my wife describes me.
I think they put drugs in them or something.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. And that, if you'll permit me, leads me into a few problems I have for your consideration. I submit.
I got 99 problems.
Heard you had problems.
Houston, we've had a problem.
More money, more problems.
Let me just say, Scott, you're being too polite here, dude.
Yeah.
This is your segment every
Yes.
bit as much as it is ours.
Absolutely.
Number 1. Yankees humming the first few licks of dueling banjos whenever they're confronted with superior Southern culture. Deliverance was not a documentary, folks. Furthermore, Hollywood has produced many other popular films containing offensive Southern stereotypes. So make a little effort and get some new material. Personally, I agree. Personally, I've been waiting decades for a chance to bust out my Sling Blade impression, but y'all just keep going back to Ted Beatty.
Yes. I get it. I'm with him on that.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
act like Pulp Fiction wasn't, they didn't have the same type of scene in that, too.
Right.
Again, and people love Pulp Fiction, so whatever.
Anyway, number 2, carpetbaggers. Look, I got no issues at all with folks from up north coming here to find freedom and a better life. Just do it legally. But I really hate having the following conversation at the local watering hole. So, John, if you would, I'm gonna play the part of Scott here. I want you to play the part of carpetbagging scallywag.
Okay.
Okay. So, where are you from?
Boston.
Yeah? You like Chattanooga?
Oh, I love it. It's clean, people are friendly, and there's so much less crime.
Well, right on. Welcome.
There's just this one thing.
Oh, help me, Jesus. Here it comes again.
You see, you guys got terrible public transit here and no ice sports. You really should have a public ice rink. I mean, how do your kids learn hockey? I mean, back home, we got ice arenas in every neighborhood, so kids don't even have to ride the bus, but they could because there's buses,
So what you're saying, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that my home, where I'm from, where I was raised, you're saying it's okay, but in your opinion, it would be really great if my home was more like the filthy, crime-ridden, hateful hole from which you couldn't wait to escape. Is that accurate?
Maybe I need to find another seat.
Good plan. Again, don't get me wrong, I'm not against folks coming down here. Heck, bring with you some decent pizza. Agreed, because I've had Chicago deep dish pizza and it is delicious.
That's great.
Bring a White Castle. Just be respectful, learn the language, and don't expect us to change our culture just for you. Don't make us build a wall. On the other hand, be careful not to. And number 3, the Yankee that tries too hard. Hey, I'm glad you're not a carpet-bagging scallywag. You've just got a good attitude. You've kept your dog out of my yard. I got no issues with you. But just because you're in the South now, don't mean you've got to jump on the bandwagon and become a Saban worshiper.
Okay, now easy.
Well, maybe you do. No one wants to hear Roll Tide shouted in a Massachusetts accent.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
So either learn to correctly pronounce Big Orange or stick to your hockey. Or stick to your hockey stick.
Well, look, if the Yankee moves down, we don't want them to have to root for Tennessee, right? We don't want to.
Well, maybe if we want to run them back up north, we do.
We don't want them to have to root for Tennessee. That's torture right there. Goodness. I will say this right now. The University of Tennessee and the University of Alabama built this conference, the Southeastern Conference.
Yes.
All the other schools are sucking on the teat of Tennessee and Alabama. So we're great, and that's why we're rivals. We just happen to have dominated for the last, 11 years or something.
Yeah, I was just fixing to say.
But hey, when I was in school, y'all beat us all the time too. So
Look, Tennessee's rebuilding.
yeah,
They've been rebuilding for 11 years. So when they do unleash this talent, it's going to be rough.
Yes.
Number 4, people who begin to talk on politics by telling me what I think.
Okay.
Agreed, that's aggravating.
That is aggravating.
And number 5, non-Christians who begin to talk again by telling me what I believe. How do you know if I believe the earth is only 6,000 years old? Want to see my vaccination record? When was the last hateful thing I posted on social media? Just stop. I agree. That's
I would say, like, as a Christian, that can be a little bad sometimes.
Yes.
But
we do it to other people too.
well, and we also will write letters to Netflix instead of Amazon Prime.
We will.
You know? There's like a give and take there. You just have to deal with if you're a Christian.
All of us together should not try to assume anything
Right.
about our political opponent or philosophical opponent,
absolutely
whatever.
not.
We should
Right.
try to listen before we criticize
Right.
or critique someone's
Yes.
viewpoint.
And I mean, I don't know about everybody who listens to this, but I don't want everybody to think exactly like I think.
Agreed,
and believe
because-
exactly what I believe.
I mean, this is going to be scary to some folks, but you're probably not right about everything.
absolutely. Right.
And if we all think
Yes.
the same way, then we're all going to be wrong
Right.
on some stuff.
Yeah, and I get along with everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like that I'm not, that horrible of a person, and we can get along if you have different religious beliefs than I do or
Mm-hmm.
political beliefs than I do, and that's not fine. I don't mind you being wrong,
Right.
And I'm sure you don't mind me being wrong either. Let's just be cool to each other. So
Yeah.
But the worst
Agreed.
thing ever is being a Tennessee fan and having to. I'm just kidding. I
tell you what,
I like Tennessee.
It's rough for Tennessee fans because they have a great program.
They do.
And they have, don't they have the biggest stadium in the Southeast?
Yeah, I think so. Of course, it's like bleachers, and they make you sit so close to somebody else so they can fit. Like, horrible. And you got to walk up all those ramps on the side. It's like the worst thing ever. But
Well, still, I mean,
of course, we got the big
I was
spiral
going to say,
ramps.
we got some ramps
Yeah,
too.
it was pretty bad, but I want to skateboard down on one day.
I used to go over there when I was a kid and ride my bike.
Yeah.
And some not every time, but there would be the occasional Sunday where someone left the gates unlocked and I would ride my bike up there.
Oh, yeah. I used to get in the football stadium all the time. I can't talk about everything I did in there. But I used to. It was like very laissez-faire security over at Bryant
Yes.
Denny Stadium.
Back before 9/11.
Yeah, right.
Everyone got so sensitive.
Yes. Yes. It's exactly right. But yeah, once again, Tennessee and Alabama built the Southeastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
They are a traditionally great program. They've been through some rough times, but just exactly like we did.
Yeah.
Of course, we got caught paying a defensive lineman from Memphis, and Tennessee's coach ratted us out. Whatever. I'm going to bring all that up. That brought on our rough times.
I know.
But they dominated us during all that. And I just want to point out once again to everybody that Peyton Manning's not funny. All right? That's my last thing I really have to say on the podcast today. They did one funny skit on Saturday Night Live like 25 years ago, and that's it. Everything else has been very mediocre.
Well, anyway, Scott here finishes up his email. Again, guys, great show. Keep it up, Scott. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Scott,
Scott.
for writing in. That is like a grade A email
Yeah,
right
man.
there.
I'm just busting your chops, too, man. I don't care if you root for Tennessee. I'm not one of those Alabama fans that's going to throw a brick through your window or something.
Yeah, my father-in-law is a huge Tennessee fan. So,
My roommate in college, Mason Prim, who listens to the show, he grew up a Tennessee and West Virginia fan, but his stepdad went to Tennessee. Then Mason went his first couple years to Auburn and was like a big Auburn guy,
Right.
and then moved back to Alabama and went to Alabama. The most conflicted fanship I've ever seen in my life. He's really all in for Bama now, but I think he roots.
well, because they're winning.
Yeah, of course, right.
And then
Right,
when Tennessee finally does
That's right.
rebuild, when they finally do get that program
Yeah.
rebuilt, he's going to be all
I think
in.
Tennessee's got a shot to beat us this year. No joke. I'm not even
really?
kidding. Yeah, they got a pretty good team coming up, I think. I'm not kidding at all. I really do think that. I'm a little worried about them.
Okay,
Their coach
we'll
is good.
see. We'll see.
Their coach is good. I mean, he came from Alabama, so
And I think, I'm not going to say that.
Let's go ahead. Let's just make everybody mad.
I was going to say, I think Tennessee has been bad for so long that it's got to the point where it's not fun to hate on them anymore.
Yeah.
You actually feel kind of sorry
Yes.
for them.
Right. No, I see what you're saying. And I also feel like they got to get one eventually, you know?
Yes.
We did it. They almost got us back when Cody blocked the field goals and all that back when Lane Kiffin was their coach,
Yes.
Which remember, they all rioted and stuff.
Oh,
when
I
Lane
remember
left?
that. Yeah.
Which Lane Kiffin's a great coach, by the way. He made Blake Sims a running back, an all SEC quarterback for Alabama.
I remember I was on vacation, I want to say a year or two after that in Gatlinburg. And
They still hate him.
we were at We were at some restaurant or something. They were taking our picture, and the dude found out we were from Tuscaloosa, and he's like, "Oh, y'all figure out how to kick a field goal yet?" You know, which to anyone that watches
we beat
football,
people like 35.
we have trouble kicking field goals.
Very big time.
And I told the guy, I was like, "No, we ain't figured out how to kick field goals yet, but we do pretty good at blocking them."
Yeah. I just feel like Saban is such a good coach that if we had a good kicker, it would totally be unfair. You know, like, people would just quit watching.
I don't think he wants
football.
a good kicker.
No, we don't even give him scholarships. You know,
Yeah.
like full scholarships. So he's like, yeah, we got to keep people tuning in, have a little drama. But one day we're gonna suck again, and I just like to remind myself of that of all the pain and heartache that I went through when I was in school of not winning. It's gonna come again. Saban's gonna retire one day, and we'll suck again. So to Scott and all the other Tennessee fans, just
hang in there.
Pray for Saban to retire.
And because he will one day. He's
day.
not immortal.
No, that at least that we know of.
Yes.
We'll pay you the money to get chips and make him a robot, a cyborg, if we have to down here. You know how it is. We don't spend any money on anything but football in Alabama.
Yep. Well, you have been listening to Earth Oddity Podcast, and we thank you so much for listening to us no matter where you get us, whether you get us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're on them all.
Yep.
If you would like to email into the show like Scott did, you can write in. We are earthoddity@planetmail.net. If you would like to tweet at us, you can see us over on Twitter @_EarthOddity. You like pictures?
Oh,
sometimes we post pictures. You can check those out _EarthOddity on Instagram. And if all that fails, you can call into the show and leave us a voicemail.
662-493-2059. That's 662-493-2059.
I would like to thank everyone for listening to us. I would like to thank Silent Side for the music that we put at the beginning of the shows. I would like to thank Capitol Creek Praise Band for tuning up their instruments in the background while we recorded this live show.
That's right.
And we hope everyone has a great week. Earth Oddity for the Fringe Radio Network signing off.
Love y'all.
Bye.
This has been a very odd production. Thanks for listening.